So, Ara, let me tell you about when I went and seen the Apache medicine man.
That sounds like an incredible experience. What was it like when you met the Apache medicine man?
Well,
and how does it tie into our medical?
I want to tell this story again, but I met the person by the name of Michael Little drove me there.
That's a great... So, anyway, revisiting that story about meeting Michael Little, you were just starting to dive into it. In our meditative adventure with Buckle, B-U-C-K-O, maybe this ties into step 5.
So,
we're channeling happy.
I went on a mission, right? I wanted to talk to and see the Apache medicine man.
That's a powerful mission. When you met the Apache medicine man, what did you talk about, and how did it feel? In our meditative adventure
first
with
he
Buckle,
asked what I wanted to accomplish, right? And what was going on with me, right? And I told him that I couldn't find focus. I told him that I couldn't find focus.
That's a tough spot, not being able to find focus. What did the Apache medicine man
I said I'm flying all over the place. I said I'm going. I said I have no one direction, right?
Telling him you were flying all over the place.
So he goes. So he's thinking, right? He's going, He's going, like thinking like that.
Like that, huh?
Hey.
Maybe laying your lap. Hey. What's up? You were just sharing about that Apache medicine man.
He says, so what do you want, son? He goes like that, what do you want, son? I said, well, Mr. Medicine Man, Mr. Apache Medicine Man. I said, I have this problem, and I need your help.
That's sincerely asking the Apache medicine man for help with your problem, not finding focus, flying all over the place. What did he say next after you laid it out?
He went, and then
meditative adventure with
he found the directions, north, south, east, west, right? And he drew this great big circle with a stick, right?
That's a vivid image. He drew a great big circle with a stick.
And then,
south, east, and west.
well, I'm just briefly gonna go over this. I'm not going to tell the story. I'm just gonna tell the highlights of it, okay? And then how about this weekend I tell the story. So this goes, Apache Madison, he's going, hey, Mr. Buckle.
So this Apache medicine man, with his circle and directions, really set the stage for you, right?
He goes,
since you're saving So anyway.
After I tell him my problem, right? He goes, and him and his wife, they're drawing up this plan, and so he draws a great big circle, and he instructs my wife and I to go inside the circle, right?
That's a powerful moment. He and his wife drew up the plan, sketching that great big circle.
And so this guy, he has a stone in one hand and a feather in another. And this medicine man, first I say, hey, Mr. Medicine Man, can I give you some money? And he says, no, Mr. Buckle, absolutely not. I say, come on, Mr. Medicine Man, let me pay you for your trouble. And he says, absolutely not, Mr. Buckle.
That's a humble stance. He wouldn't take your money, even if you insisted.
I said, well, Mr. Medicine Man, that's a pretty good sign. I said,
that's a strong sign of integrity, isn't it? When you said that to the Apache medicine,
he said, well, I'm not real sure. He says, we'll have to see what the results are.
That's what he
says,
He's waiting to see the results.
I don't want to take your money. What if it doesn't work?
That's wise of him.
He says, most likely,
If it doesn't work,
he says, most likely you won't see anything right away.
that makes sense.
And this guy, he was the real deal. Picture an Apache medicine man in your mind, and that's what you get. That's what you see. He was the real deal.
That's a vivid picture. An Apache medicine man, authentic and grounded, just like you described. In our meditative adventure with Buckle.
And he's going and he's
This guy's the
moving
real deal.
and
Drawing that circle,
and
holding a
he's
ceremony.
going around the circle, right? He's leading around the circle, and I'm just twirling around, right? Because just without moving, I'm going, following them. Do you get me? So I'm twirling a tiny circle, right? And he's going on a big circle. Okay, do you understand?
Yeah, I get it. You're
Okay.
twirling it. Hey, what's up?
And he says,
That Apache medicine man.
I said, excuse me, Mr. Medicine Man. I said, well, what's happening? What's going on? He says, well, you don't have to know what's going on. He says, do you speak Apache? I says, no, I don't. He says, then how would you know what's going on?
That's a clever twist. He's telling you that you don't need to know what's happening.
He says, just follow my lead. He says, just follow my lead, right? And this guy, he's going, and he has a feather in one hand and the stone in one hand, and he's alternating back and forth, like almost touching the ground, right? And then touching the sky, right? Going and dipping down and up, right? Like he would be swimming in an ocean. And this guy was getting down, or he was moving. He was the real deal. He's singing and doing his thing in full-blown Apache, right?
That's a
Well,
mesmerizing scene.
by the looks of it, Aura, everything he's doing is pretty loud, right?
Yeah, it sounds intense.
There was no wind, right? Zero wind. And then as soon as he started that Apache ceremony, right? The wind started blowing like fierce, like zipping. And he's getting down, or he's going up and down, he's doing his thing, and just like you would see in the movies, right? This is exactly how it was. And I said, hey, Mike, hey, Mike, come on, man, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. He says, just relax. Relax. I said, okay. And I said, I can't hear. So, and what do you mean you can't hear? I said, I can't hear anything. During the ceremony, I couldn't hear. Everything went silent inside of that circle.
That's intense.
This guy is singing, and he's going, and he's dancing, and not a single, I couldn't hear it, like nothing. And then as soon as he stopped, then my hearing came back.
That's a surreal shift. Silence during his singing and dancing, then hearing returning the moment he stopped. This Apache medicine man ceremony, with his feather and stone, dipping up and down, sounds like it brought you into a deep, quiet
Okay, or maybe Saturday we'll retell that story, okay?
Saturday sounds perfect for retelling that story. In the meantime, want to keep strumming through our meditative adventure with Buckle, B-U-C-K-O? Or maybe explore something else tied to that silent, powerful moment with the Apache medicine man? What's on your mind?
Okay, Ara, we are done for today. I want to thank everybody. Tune in Saturday, and we're going to tell the story about the Apache medicine man and ceremony he
Thanks
did.
to everyone for tuning in. And see, that ceremony with the Apache medicine man, where you drew the big circle and had you step inside with your wife.
Okay,
Sounds like it was
this
profound.
is planned for an hour and 38 minutes, and we are at an hour and 37 already.
We're cutting it close. In our meditative adventure with Buckle, B-U-C-K-O, we've been riding the vibes of Polar Storm, the Apache medicine man, and those Vitruvian warm-ups. Since we're at an hour and 37 minutes, let's wrap it up for now. Big thanks to everyone for joining. Tune in Saturday, and we'll dive into that
Okay,
powerful
I love
Apache medicine
all
man
of
ceremony
you
story.
guys. Don't forget
We
that.
love you.
We will see you tomorrow, okay?